The lights haven't even finished dimming when you feel it, that strange pull in your chest, the kind that tells you something unforgettable is about to happen. A young man stands alone at center stage, silent, nervous, dressed like he stepped straight out of another era. He doesn't sing yet. He doesn't move. He just breathes. And in that breath, the entire room holds on with him, because this is the moment that will leave Simon Cowell speechless. Stay with this story until the very end, and if it moves you even a little, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because stories like this deserve to be shared. His name is Mateo Cruz, a 27-year-old street performer from Cebu, Philippines. Back home, people call him Elvis not because he looks exactly like the king, but because he carries the same fire in his eyes when he sings. Mateo grew up in a one-room house near the docks, where the sound of waves mixed with old cassette tapes his father played every night. His father was a tricycle driver with big dreams and a bigger voice. Elvis Presley was his escape from poverty, from exhaustion, from a life that never slowed down. When Mateo was 6, his father would lift him onto a wooden chair, hand him a broken microphone, and say, "Sing, Anik. One day, the world will listen." But the world didn't listen right away. When Mateo was 12, his father passed away suddenly, leaving behind debts, silence, and an old vinyl record of "Can't Help Falling in Love." Mateo stopped singing for years. He worked odd jobs, carried sacks at the port, cleaned fish at dawn, anything to help his mother survive. Every night, though, when everyone else slept, he played that record softly and sang one note at a time, afraid that if he sang too loud, the dream would hurt too much. Years later, a viral clip of Mateo singing Elvis songs on the street changed everything. Tourists stopped. Phones came out. Some cried. Others laughed. A local talent scout saw something deeper, not just a voice, but a story that refused to die. Against all odds, Mateo auditioned for America's Got Talent. He sold his motorbike, borrowed money, and flew for the first time in his life, carrying nothing but a small suitcase and his father's old ring. Backstage at AGT, Mateo watched performers warm up with runs, scales, and confidence. His hands shook. His English was broken. His confidence even more so. When a producer asked what song he'd sing, Mateo surprised everyone. "One note," he said softly. They laughed, thinking he misunderstood. But he didn't. He meant it. When his name was called, he walked onto the stage under blinding lights. The audience clapped politely. Simon Cowell leaned back, arms crossed. Heidi smiled encouragingly. Howie looked curious. Sophia tilted her head, unsure. Simon asked the question everyone was thinking, "So, Mateo, what are you going to sing for us today?" Mateo swallowed hard. "I will sing, one note," he said. The audience murmured. Simon raised an eyebrow. "One note," he repeated. Mateo nodded. "Yes, sir. One note, but with my whole life." The music started, barely audible. Mateo closed his eyes and sang a single, trembling note. It wasn't loud. It wasn't flashy. But it was honest. He held it, letting it crack, letting it breathe. The room grew quiet. No one laughed now. He sang the same note again, this time stronger, layering emotion instead of pitch. With each repetition, memories poured into that sound, his father's voice, the docks, hunger, hope, loss. Then something changed. Without warning, the orchestra slowly joined, harmonizing around that one note. Mateo never changed pitch, but the world around him did. The note became a heartbeat. A prayer. A promise. People in the audience began to cry. Heidi covered her mouth. Sophia wiped her eyes. Howie leaned forward, stunned. Simon Cowell didn't move. Mateo opened his eyes and looked straight ahead, imagining his father in the front row. His voice didn't beg. It didn't shout. It simply existed. And when the final echo faded, there was silence, heavy, sacred silence. Then the crowd exploded. A standing ovation shook the theater. Cheers, tears, screams. Mateo stood frozen, overwhelmed, tears streaming down his face. Simon slowly leaned forward, took off his glasses, and paused. For once, there was no quick criticism, no sharp wit. Just honesty. I have judged thousands of singers, Simon finally said, his voice quiet. I never thought one note could say so much. That wasn't a performance. That was your life. Howie called it the bravest audition he'd ever seen. Heidi said she felt every second of his pain and hope. Sophia told him he reminded her why dreams matter. Mateo could barely speak. When the golden buzzer was pressed, time seemed to stop. Gold confetti rained down as Mateo fell to his knees, sobbing, whispering his father's name. The boy who once sang in the dark was now standing in the brightest light of his life. But the real victory wasn't the buzzer or the applause. It was the message Mateo carried to millions watching around the world: you don't need everything to be perfect to be powerful. Sometimes, all you need is one note, one chance, to tell your story. At the end of the episode, viewers searched his name, shared the clip, and replayed that moment again and again. And if you're still here right now, feeling something in your chest, that means his story reached you too. If it did, show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the channel, because somewhere out there, another dream is waiting to be heard, maybe with just one note.